Thanks for watching. I'm Margot Kinberg, and this is In the Spotlight, a closer look at a crime novel. The had I but known element in a mystery story or a suspense story is probably most closely associated with Mary Roberts Rinehart. However, we see that element in other stories too, and it can add up a level of interest, a level of suspense to a story. Let's take a look at a novel like that today and turn the spotlight on Margaret Armstrong's Murder in Stained Glass. Harriet Trumbull is a New York-based spinster in her 40s. As the book begins, she travels to Connecticut to visit an old school friend, Charlotte Blair. Also staying with Charlotte is her cousin, Phyllis. One day they visit the studio of famous stained glass artist Frederick Ullathorne. He's recently moved to New York to have more privacy and get away from the press and the crowds. He's got a lot of talent, but a very bad temper, and he can be malicious and unpleasant. He's even unkind to his son Leo, who's in love with Phyllis. Phyllis returns Leo's affection, but there's talk that Frederick Ullathorne wants Phyllis for himself. One morning, Ullathorne's work crew is shocked by the discovery of bones in the shop's kill. The police are called in, and Detective Skinner and his team investigate. The bones are soon declared to be Ullathorne's, and now the whole thing becomes a murder investigation. There's no shortage of suspects either. The murderer could be one of Ullathorne's work team. He was as high-handed and unpleasant with them as he was with anyone else. It could have been Leo, who stands to inherit, and who also suffered at his father's hands. There are other possibilities, too. Miss Trumbull can't sit idly by while people she knows are being investigated for murder. So she does her own sleuthing, and she soon finds that solving this case could be very dangerous for her. So what's involved in this novel? What holds it together, and what are the elements we see in it? Well, as I said, there is a bit of the had I but known element in the story. In fact, the novel starts with Miss Trumbull saying that things wouldn't have happened as they did if she hadn't gone to stay with Charlotte. She says, "I shouldn't have been on hand with my eyes wide open when things began to happen." At the same time, that element doesn't overtake the plot. It's not the major element in it. The story is told from Miss Trumbull's point of view, first person, past tense. And that proves to be very important. Readers see and know what she knows for the most part. And that raises the question of how reliable a narrator she is. It's not spoiling the story to say that Miss Trumbull is not the murderer. But not everything is as it seems, and telling the story from her perception allowed Armstrong to create some plot twists and surprises. Those plot twists are another major element in the novel. There are small clues here and there throughout the story, and the alert reader may pick them up, but the solution to the mystery of what happened to Frederick Ullathorne isn't clear-cut or obvious. This is a golden age mystery, and it reflects that era. There's a focus on plot, although there is character development. There's almost no on-stage violence, and the suspense doesn't depend on gratuitousness. There's even the young couple who may be threatened by what's happening. Murder in Stained Glass is as much of a howdunit as it is a whodunit. It contains several plot twists and characters who aren't what they seem, and it features an intelligent amateur sleuth with strong opinions, an eye for observation, and she's not 20 anymore. She's got an interesting perspective as well, and she's dedicated to protecting those in her circle and protecting them. This has been In the Spotlight. I'm Margot Kinberg. Thanks for watching.